Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Chapter 46. Blacksmith Girl Alicia. Hearing the sudden world announcement, Suwu was really surprised. The death of the lord of the area the day after the lord came, is already an event that can be written into textbooks. Generally speaking, the regional masters are the strongest beings in the current region, or the ones that are not controversial. In the past 100 years of Blue Star's history, except for an accident in which an epic creature became the master of the area, the masters of the area were generally full-level king-level creatures. Just now, after hearing Kang Yu's information, Suwu even thought that the war angel who stayed in the Foxiao Empire was the owner of this area. But now it seems that he must have guessed wrong. Including the murderer who killed Yanlong Volas, there should be 3 existences in this area who have reached the limit of king-level creatures. As expected of a world inhabited by 2 mythical creatures, it is indeed quite different from an ordinary world. Let's go, Kang Yu. After returning to his senses, Suwu took the lead and walked towards the Foxiao Empire not far away. Since the defensive light barrier of the Dawn Forest will be closed in advance, he is also ready to change his plan. If you are facing the Buddha Shao Empire, you have a good chance of winning. They can't beat me. Even after hearing Suwu's sudden burst of news, Kang Yu still said in a flat tone, including that angel, I only need 1 move to freeze the other party in the city. Very good, as expected of Kang Yu. In terms of strength, he has never been disappointed. The corner of Suwu's mouth showed a smile and said, if you say that, I have confidence in my heart. Unlike the excited Suwu. After hearing the world announcement, the lords in the Dawn Forest area were already in a mess at this moment. Open black lens bracket regional channel close black lens bracket. FK. Why did the lord of the region die? I want to know too. It's over. As soon as the defensive light barrier disappears, can the lords of other worlds attack us at will? It depends on the situation, right? Maybe the regional masters in several nearby areas will choose to maintain the existence of the defensive light barrier and not let them come out casually. Yan Shou. Upstairs, what you think is too simple. Yan Shou. The strength of the area lord will be blessed by the territory, which is why the area lord is stronger than ordinary king-level creatures. Yan Shou. Now that there is an accident in our Dawn Forest, the regional masters of the surrounding areas will not miss this good opportunity. Yan Shou. If there is no accident, when the defensive light barrier in the Morning Forest area disappears, the defensive light barrier in the surrounding area will also be cancelled at the same time. As long as the master of the area does not die, the opening and cancellation of the defensive light barrier is just a matter of thought. In the face of the big fat Dawn Forest, the rest of the area masters will not only not restrict the entry and exit of their subordinates, but I am afraid they will take the initiative to organize them to launch an attack. This is the biggest crisis they are about to face. Yan Shou. At that time, I am afraid that we will have to face the enemies from all sides condensed into a group in the form of a loose sand. Yan Shou. In order to prevent the annihilation of the entire army, the benefits are all taken by people from other worlds. I hope that Suwu's side will stop its aggressive actions and join us to fight the enemy. Young Master Yan Shou said it well. That's right. In the face of this unheard-of predicament, I think we can only win by working together. What about the people from the Newbie League? I don't believe that there is no one who watches regional channels, right? Oh, those guys who can only brag, I'm afraid they've been scared and don't know what to say. Suwu, who was on his way, naturally didn't see the chat in the regional channel. After bringing Kang Yu into the city smoothly, he came to the blacksmith shop that he couldn't enter yesterday. Welcome. Aware that a customer came in, a red-haired woman wearing a white scarf walked out from the depths of the store. Her facial features are exquisite, and her eyes glow like black pearls. Despite wearing a commoner, there is still an energetic vibe against the healthy wheat-colored skin. Bang! Throwing the hammer in her hand on the table next to her, Alicia walked over carelessly and said, it's been a long time since I've been here. Do you need any help? Look at this. Suwu took out the white jade sword and asked, is there any way? What? Before the words were finished, a surprised voice came from the girl's mouth. The source is almost exhausted, and the sword spirit has also entered a deep sleep. What did this do to make such a powerful artifact become like this? It's too much. This kind of usage is just a waste of time. You have to ask the original owner how it became like this. Facing the excited girl, Su Wu handed over the white jade sword and asked, "Do you have any way to fix it?" Repair. Looking at Su Wu suspiciously, Alicia, who was originally emotional, froze. "Why do you think I have a fix? Shouldn't Master Azel be asked about this?" Chapter 47. The Master Azer in Alicia's mouth is none other than the 6th Order blacksmith of the Foxiao Empire. "I'm just a lucky little blacksmith who created 5th Order equipment. How could there be a way to repair the artifact?" Handing the white jade sword back, Alicia scratched her hair and said, "Guest, you really think too highly of me. I can't do things like repairing artifacts." "I don't think highly of you." Su Wu still believes in the sacred choice that has never been wrong. Moreover, he can also see that the other party is not so simple. There is no way for a 6th Order blacksmith to see the problem with the white jade sword as soon as I took it out. Looking at Alicia, who was looking left and right, Su Wu said, "You can mention the reward. As long as the white jade sword can be repaired, I will be able to help you even if you are the owner of the area." "It's not about pay." Sighing heavily, Alicia replied, "There are many complicated reasons on my side. If the news of the restoration of the artifact is spread, it is likely to be found by some nasty guys in the future." "Enemy." "Yeah." Alicia nodded, spreading her hands in an exaggerated gesture. "It's still the kind of enemy whose strength is beyond your imagination. The God of Light or the Lord of the Abyss." Alicia. Looking at Su Wu standing in front of her, she suddenly fell silent when she wanted to say something. This guest. "There's no problem with your brain, right? How can anyone take the main god-level powerhouse as an example? It's like when you're secretly playing with your phone under your desk in the evening, you find someone standing at the back door staring at you. Just when you feel relieved that the other person is not the head teacher, the person next to you tells you that it is the principal. It's just outrageous." F. King opened the door to outrageous home. "It doesn't seem to be a main god-level enemy." Su Wu, who got the answer from Alicia's expression, said with satisfaction, "Then don't worry, as long as the enemy doesn't come to the door immediately, even a superior god can solve it." No, the superior gods are already outrageous." Alicia waved her hand and replied helplessly, "Guest, your guess is too exaggerated. If the enemy really had that level, I would have already died. How can I still live to this day?" "Then you can rest assured," Su Wu said to himself. "If the enemy's level is lowered a little bit, I might have enough strength to deal with it in a few days." "Even if you say that, I don't really feel." It seems that Su Wu has no intention of leaving. There is no good way to make Acelia pick up the hammer beside her, and she said helplessly, "Then I will help you. If you really want someone to ask you who fixed it, don't put me reveal it." "Can it be fixed now?" Su Wu hesitated, although he believed that Acelia had a way to repair it, but looking at the other party's meaning, it seemed to be very relaxed. "If you really want to say it, you can't. But I have a way to add a devouring effect to her." Acelia pointed to the white jade sword and said, "Go back and feed her more high-quality long swords, and it will be repaired by yourself. Then please, don't worry." Pushing back the white jade sword that Su Wu handed over again, Acelia said, "The price of repairing the artifact is very expensive." "What do you want?" "It's nothing." Touching the hammer that was still on the front desk, Acelia's eyes flashed with nostalgia. "My enemy is not in this world, so even if I want you to do anything, I can't do it. However, I have a benefactor in this world. He's not in a very good position now, it's more accurate to say he's pushed to a limit. If you are really as powerful as you boast, go and help realize his last wish." "Where is the person you said?" "In an alley to the south." Acelia raised her hand and pointed in a direction. "His name is Walter. You can find out the exact location by just asking around on the street." Walter. Su Wu, who felt that the name was a little familiar, thought for a while and opened the option of divine choice. Option 3. Led Kang Yu to the strange old man Walter to obtain the only skill, Eye of Truth. Close black lens bracket. Sure enough, he said that he seemed to have heard the name somewhere. "You know, he will bring Kang Yu here today. In addition to playing a protective role, the main reason is this option." "Could it be a strange old man?" "It's him." Acelia nodded and looked at Su Wu curiously. "Do you know Grandpa Walter?" "I don't know, but I've heard of it." "Well, although I don't know how much you understand, but you can just go and find him with this hammer." Passing the hammer in her hand to Su Wu, Acelia explained, "After you find him, show him this and he will understand what it means." Congratulations on getting the special equipment, Asilia's blacksmith's hammer. Open black lens bracket Asilia's blacksmith's hammer close black lens bracket. Grade. Special. Characteristic 1. Blacksmith Master. Increases the probability of success by 100% when crafting equipment below Tier 4. Close black lens bracket. Characteristic 2. Growth. The effect of this hammer will change with Asilia's strength. Close black lens bracket. Characteristic 3. Exclusive. Only in the hands of the bound Asilia can this hammer exert its real effect. Close black lens bracket. Remarks. The original body is just an ordinary hammer bought from the street by an old man, and it has been transformed into a special equipment that can be evolved through the transformation of Asilia. Close black lens bracket. Relevant factors are detected. Unlock the task, Blood Tragedy. Open black lens bracket Blood Tragedy close black lens bracket. Task level. Regional task. Quest introduction. Please go to the strange old Walter and fulfill his last wish. Close black lens bracket. Quest reward. Asilia's help, the only skill true eye. Close black lens bracket. Chapter 48. Dreamworld. Sky City area. Is that flame dragon actually dead? An angel with 10 pairs of wings on his back stood on the edge of the city in the sky, looking down. Although I don't know who the murderer is. But since the opponent killed the Yanlong, he did not choose to take over as the master of the area to maintain the defensive light barrier. Obviously, he did not have any good intentions. Maybe this is an opportunity. Feeling the power that was nearly exhausted in his body, the legendary holy angel made a decision. The time I can spend is running out. Instead of being consumed by that guy, it's better to give it a last-ditch effort to break through the blockade of this world and get in touch with my lord again. As long as there are not too many problems with the backhand placed in the Dawn Forest, even if it is in the current state against the masters of all areas, it is not impossible. Thick soil and barren areas. Tisk, what a hassle. A sleeping tiger exuding a fierce aura stood up and looked dissatisfied in the direction of the Dawn Forest. It's clear that as long as it drags on for a while, that annoying angel will lose all his power. I said that Volrath was unreliable back then. I really don't understand why he should be the lord of this important location in the Dawn Forest. Desperate ruin area. Is it finally successful? On a throne of dry bones. A skeleton king wearing a crown and heavy armor raised his head and looked at the Dawn Forest in the distance. I didn't expect it would take so long to find a suitable candidate. Fortunately, the other party did not live up to his expectations. Next, he was left to wait. It's enough to wait for the holy angel who has run out of oil lamps and the regional masters who are also in the way. It's here, in front of an alley in the Foxiao Empire. Following the instructions of passers-by, Su Wu, who successfully found the destination, took the lead and walked in. I saw in the alley, a ragged, white-haired old man was lying there. Sensing that someone was approaching, he woke up from his nap and opened his eyes to look at Su Wu. A new face I haven't seen before. After taking a look at Su Wu and Kang Yu's clothes, Walter pouted and said, "You guys came here to visit after hearing some strange rumors." "Of course not, I'm not that boring yet." Taking out the hammer that Alicia gave, Su Wu handed it to the old man Walter and said, "I received a request from someone to help you fulfill your last wish." As a result, Hammer glanced at it twice, and Walter frowned and said, "It's really that little girl's thing, didn't I tell you to leave me alone? It's better to go back and complain to the other party in person about this kind of thing." After proving his identity, Su Wu asked, "What is the so-called last wish? Let's talk about it. Are you sure you want to help? I'm not responsible for dying. Say your wish." Interesting. After finding that Su Wu was still unmoved after hearing that he might be dead, Walter laughed at himself. Also, since it's the person recommended by that little girl, it can't be an ordinary person. He raised his head, his eyes glowing like a galaxy. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At the same moment, a large number of ice vines appeared out of thin air and bound to Walter. "Kang Yu." Su Wu looked behind him suspiciously. Kang Yu, who was eating fruit slowly, is now looking at Walter indifferently. "He's looking at our information. Su Wu said yesterday that the existence of her intelligence without authorization is the enemy. If you can, catch him back. If you can't catch him, kill him." It turned out to be a mythical creature. On the other side, Walter, who was restrained by the ice vine, looked at Suwu and the two without a trace of fear in his eyes. For him, death has long been a trivial matter. Compared with that, the sudden miracle in front of him made him even more excited. It is indeed my offense to investigate intelligence without authorization. After recovering from the shock, Walter apologized. If you are dissatisfied with this matter, old man, I am willing to exchange this life for. I'm not that narrow-minded yet. Taking Alicia's hammer back, Suwu stretched out his finger and clicked on his own eyes, asking, is that the real I just now? To be able to see through the identity of Kang Yu, after thinking about it, there is only this unique skill that appears repeatedly in the reward prompt. The only skill, as the name implies, is to look at the entire void, and it is also a unique skill. The effect of this type of skill is powerful, and it belongs to the top level in every aspect of the same type of skill. SSS level talents such as Su Wu's Sacred Choice and Kang Yu's Ice Queen can actually be regarded as unique skills in disguise. Before they die, no second wielder with the same type of talent will appear, even if they search the entire void. However, it is different from the SSS level talent. Only skills can be inherited. Excluding some special means, as long as the holder of the unique skill is willing, he can pass on the unique skill to anyone. Join my territory to serve me, while passing on this unique skill to me. Su Wu replied, as long as you are willing, not only will I not care about your offense just now, but I will fulfill your wish in the shortest possible time. Walter smiled bitterly. No one should know about the inheritance of the true eye on me. Compared with the conditions that Su Wu opened, he was actually more willing to hand over his skills to the other party as a reward, and then die to eliminate the gap between the two. Then what's your answer? Su Wu looked down at Walter and said, Acelia paid me in advance, so whether you choose to agree or not, I will help you fulfill your wish. Of course, there are differences. For example, to give you the ability to fulfill your wishes with your own hands. Chapter 49. Su Wu would choose to forgive each other by recruiting Walter, of course not with a good temper. His real purpose was actually to recruit Alicia. Although the time he had been in contact with the other party was very short, he couldn't ignore the anomalies shown by the other party. Recognize the artifact at a glance and be sure to repair it, make revenge with the existence outside the world, and at the same time can transform an ordinary blacksmith's hammer into an exclusive equipment that can grow. There are various indications that the blacksmith level of the other party is definitely not low. And this kind of high-end logistics personnel is the most scarce in Su Wu's territory. If there was Walter, Alicia's benefactor, it would not be difficult for him to recruit him afterwards. This is also the main reason why Su Wu made this decision. The other side. After a brief hesitation, Walter finally decided to accept Su Wu's request. Congratulations on your successful recruitment of Walter as a territory resident. Close black lens bracket. I don't dare to think too much about fulfilling my wish with my own hands. Walter got up from the ground and replied respectfully, if possible, I hope you can smash Alan's soul box in front of me. Soul box, yes. Walter nodded. My full name is Walter Moore, the current head of the Moore family and the last survivor. As for Alan in my mouth. Walter paused for a moment, and said with gnashing eyes, he is my son, and he is also the murderer who destroyed the Moore family. In order to obtain a longer lifespan and stronger power, he killed everyone in the Moore family with his own hands, and converted himself into a lich through the blood sacrifice method obtained through unknown means. Over the years, I have exhausted all my wealth and entrusted various powerhouses to go to the depths of the Dawn Forest to find him, but they all came back. Now you are my last hope. I have no other request. I only hope that you can smash his soul box in front of me and let me get out of my inner demon. I've probably figured it out. After listening to Walter's words, Su Wu glanced at another task on the taskbar and asked, are there many lich in Dawn Forest? According to the information I got, there should be only Alan as a lich. Seemingly not expecting Su Wu to ask this question, Walter hesitated. Lord, have you met that guy before? I haven't encountered it head-on, but I have come into contact with some strange creatures he made. After confirming the conjecture in his heart, Su Wu did not say more. It happened that I got the coordinates of the lich you mentioned not long ago. If you are lucky, you should be able to solve it today. Key information is detected, and the task, Scarlet Tragedy, is updated. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Blood tragedy. Close black lens bracket. Task level. Regional task. Task introduction. Break the soul box of Lich Allen in front of Walter. Close black lens bracket. Quest reward. Acelia's help. True Eye paid in advance. Close black lens bracket. Lord, please come with me. After explaining the main situation, Walter, who had already made a decision, no longer procrastinated. He stood up and said to Su Wu in front of him, the inheritance of the Eye of Reality needs some arrangements and cannot be carried out immediately. Lead the way. At the same time, a seemingly harmless bird hovered over Su Wu's territory. It constantly looked at the situation in the territory below, trying to write down all the distribution of the buildings in the territory. Whoosh! Just as it was about to go deeper, a small, flawless hand suddenly stretched out from the side and pinched the little bird with a hidden breath. Spirit of investigation. After looking at the bird, Elena, who appeared in midair, turned her eyes to the east and said, "You lords are not very strong, but you have quite a lot of strange talents." FK. What the hell? In the woods 20,000 meters east of Su Wu's territory, a man in a black cloak ran into the distance. Recalling the hand that suddenly appeared in the field of vision, Zhao Shi felt a cold air rise from behind. He stopped the spirit of investigation at an altitude of thousands of meters, but he was discovered. What is even more terrifying is that after the other party found out, he also set his eyes on his direction. I'm careless, it seems that I can't just swagger in and break in just because I have an A-level reconnaissance talent in the future. After escaping for a distance, Zhao Shi, who found that no one was catching up behind him, breathed a sigh of relief and found a hidden corner to sit down. But this time I made a lot of money. Recalling that he had just seen the territory surrounded by stone walls, a smile appeared on Zhao Shi's face. Building a stone wall means that the territory level has reached level 2. If you can raise the territory level to level 2 the next day, only Su Wu can do it. Thinking of this, he immediately opened the chat channel and sent out what he had just discovered. According to the contract signed before, as long as this task can be completed, all the resources he will need in the future until the 3rd level territory will be borne by the other party. The 3rd level territory is also a small lord. As long as I work hard, raise the territory level to level 5 or level 6 before the Lord of the World appears. As long as he doesn't die, he basically won't encounter any problems in terms of survival in the future. Thinking of this, Zhao Shi couldn't help smirking. It's a pity that his daydream has not been finished, and it came to an abrupt end. Bang! An arrow suddenly flew from afar and landed on Zhao Shi, who was hiding in the corner. Looking at your expression, the news should have spread. Standing next to the body of Zhao Shi, who was already dead, Elena, who was completely spotless, said with relief, "At last there is a reliable guy." Those guys who came to investigate before, although their talents are interesting, they can't even pass the level of the spiders on the periphery, let alone the inside of Su Wu's territory. In this case, Su Wu's mission is completed. The other side. Standing in a magic circle, Su Wu also successfully obtained the inheritance of the True Eye from Walter. Congratulations on obtaining the only skill, Eye of Truth. Chapter 50. Open black lens bracket. Eye of Truth. Close black lens bracket. Level. Unique. Effect 1. See through all the delusions. Close black lens bracket. Effect 2. Obtain information about the target. Close black lens bracket. Are you getting information on the target? Having obtained the unique skill, Su Wu naturally wanted to try the difference between the True Eye and the ordinary appraisal. After activating the Eye of Truth, Kang Yu's information was fed back in the next second. Open black lens bracket. Kang Yu. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Lord Su Wu. Close black lens bracket. Race. Ice Elf. Grade. Myth. Level. Level 20. Occupation. Elemental Warrior. Open black lens bracket. Physique. 2600. Close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket. Spirit. 4600. Close black lens bracket. Talent. Queen of Ice. SSS. The effect of ice spells is increased by 100 times, the consumption is reduced by 90%, the prerequisites for casting spells are cancelled, and spells can be activated instantly. Close black lens bracket. Loyalty. 100. Absolute loyalty. Skills. Ice Princess Rose, Ice Polar Aperture, Equipment Generation, Ice Wings, Ice Reflector, Cold Aurora, Twilight Snow Thousand Mountains, Julong Xuanbing. Close black lens bracket. Note 1. Ice elves that break common sense have exceptional combat power even among mythical creatures. Please approach them with caution. Close black lens bracket. Note 2. In order to be able to descend through the altar of water element at level 1, most of his origins are sealed, and some origins will be retrieved when the level reaches level 40, 70, and 100. Close black lens bracket. Note 3. I trust Su Wu very much. Close black lens bracket. ... It is different from ordinary identification and information seen through the information of territory members. There are many more remarks on the information obtained by True Eye. Whether it is character, contact method, or the threat level of the other party, etc., all are marked out. As expected of the only skill, this effect is really terrifying. Nodding with satisfaction, Su Wu turned his gaze to Walter who was beside him. Open black lens bracket Walter Moore close black lens bracket. Open black lens bracket Lord. Su Wu close black lens bracket. ... Remark 1. Originally a subordinate of Maysfield Scarlet, he chose to pledge allegiance to Lord Su Wu for revenge. Close black lens bracket. Remark 2. It has some connection with Yanlong Wola's. Close black lens bracket. ... Glancing at Walter's remarks, Su Wu focused on the first item. Who is Maysfield? I don't know exactly who it is. Walter, who knew that he couldn't hide this kind of thing in front of the real eye, replied truthfully, but it includes the huge wealth that the Muir family had before the collapse, the contact information with the owner of this area, Yanlong Volras, and what you have obtained. Including the inheritance of the True Eye, it was all told to me by the other party through an unknown contact method. What about the purpose? Cooperate with the Flame Dragon Wolas to maintain the peace of the Dawn Forest until the death of the Holy Angel in the City of the Sky. Holy Angel, yes. Walter nodded and affirmed. The legendary Holy Angel, but the source is almost exhausted. Under normal circumstances, in order to avoid being besieged by the Lord's other subordinates due to excessive consumption, the Holy Angel will not only not take the initiative to attack, but will stay in the City of the Sky, delaying the speed of the source depletion. Of course, that situation has now been broken. After realizing that there was a problem with the protective mask protecting the Dawn Forest, Walter, who already realized what happened, said, because of that bastard Alan, the Moore family that maintains the human side is no longer useful. Quote. As for Wallace's side, he also died for unknown reasons. That Holy Angel will not miss this opportunity. When the protective mask disappears completely in 2 days, it will be time for that guy to lead the army of angels to come. ... Kang Yu, are you sure? Walking out of the small house where Walter placed the inheritance array, Su Wu, who had already understood the general situation, walked towards the center of the city with Kang Yu. How sure are you if you face that Holy Angel whose source is depleted? I won't lose. Kang Yu replied with an answer that will never change. Whether he is in a depleted state or in full bloom, I will win. I mean your current state. Through the information of True Eye, Su Wu, who has already understood why Kang Yu has always been so confident, said helplessly, forcibly breaking the seal of the source is a trump card. You should not be counted in the combat power until you are in a desperate situation. I don't want to let it be. You affect your potential in little things like this. Then I don't know. After swallowing the food that came from Walter in her hand, Kang Yu, who felt guilty after Su Wu discovered her trump card, touched the hair that fell in front of her and said, but since the source is nearly exhausted, it shouldn't be difficult to deal with. For the creatures of the upper 3 levels, the gap between each level is huge. The gap between legendary creatures and mythical creatures is even larger than the gap between ordinary people and legendary creatures. If I can get back part of the source, even if the opponent has any cards, I will not lose. That is to say, to raise the level to 40. Su Wu, who understood Kang Yu's potential meaning, replied, it's simple, it should be done today. After all, he will soon have a large income. Coming to the notice board, after scanning the notice posted on it, Su Wu stretched out his hand and took off the top one. Open black lens bracket vicious attack case request close black lens bracket. Requirement. Solve the vicious attacks that have occurred in the city recently. After you have relevant information or kill the murderer, You can go to the palace to report and receive the reward. Close black lens bracket. Note: the quest reward will be issued by the king himself. Close black lens bracket. Let's go. Su Wu turned and walked towards the very center of the city. It's also time to meet the master of this country. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.